Hello, everyone. Welcome to this training for trainees for this Erasmus Plus project. We are in the VET schools, high schools. So the aim of this project is to have a feedback and an overview of the experience that you have as trainers in during the time that you used the VR devices and the VR technology in your daily schools and the other places that you can use it. So I'm going to present. Okay. Okay, could you see well? Okay, nice. Okay, if you want, you can switch on the camera too to be the only one with the camera. Okay. The idea of this training is during the time I'm going to present more or less all the results that we have obtained in the past with a small research that we made it by Inercia and Somos Europa. Also, the idea is that we can try to talk about the experience. So mainly I'm going to show a little presentation. I don't want to give you a 2 hours presentation because it could be too boring for all of you. But the main point is to talk about the experience. I think that is the most important also for the project, one of the aims. And before to start with the presentation, I think that it could be nice if I can give you the general context of the project. So as you know, this project is co-financed by the European Commission through the Erasmus Plus program, and the aim of the project is to improve the situation in the pet education through the VR, the virtual reality, and the different devices and different tools that this technology can make useful for all of the teachers, trainers, and so on. So we started the last year with this project, and this year we finished it. And we started with the creation of different material to train the people that can use this technology in the schools and in the high schools. So I'm going to start with the presentation. Um, so as I said before, our training, the training part, the experience, and some example that you can give us. So first of all, you know that in the last years, the technology is growing up with different advantages. Like the virtual reality can improve the methods in the education, in the general one, especially in the VET, that it could be one of the most useful kind of education for that field. Also, for example, the artificial intelligence also is growing up in our daily life. As you know, we can use in different part of our life, and also in the education field. So mainly the virtual reality can transform the vocational education, offering more immersive and effective learning experience, especially for the people, for the student that in the future will join any job that can be related with the study that they have. At the beginning, we created an analysis swap. So the strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So we conducted this analysis to have an overview in the fields that we need more training and we need more information related with that. That was the goal of this analysis, and we implemented, and now I'm going to show you the results. So the bad part of the analysis, it was the weakness. For example, it was the infrastructural gaps that you know that it could be quite difficult to find these kind of devices in all the schools, high schools, and mainly because these kind of tools are very expensive. And for example, with this project, we started to solve with that. We bought different devices for each schools and organizations, and it could be useful for the future for the schools and especially for creation of new projects. But this is what was the main weakness that we found. Also, for the treats, we found that the resistance to change. So you know that mainly, at least it could be in Spain. To don't talk in general, to don't generalize, but mainly here it could be quite difficult to change the education way. So I want to say with that, for example, here in the high school, is for the teacher is quite difficult to implement new tools, new methods, and we found this three in the virtual reality, and also the technical limitation that can have in the high schools, in the vet centers, and so on. So finally, as I say, it could be the resistance of change, and we want to address these barriers with these projects to find any available solutions that can approach to this kind of technology. And now don't continue to talk now at the beginning. I want to ask you what weakness and trick could you add? So we have the main one, but if you found any other in your country, in your organization, in your vet center, education center, it could be nice to help us for the final results of the project and the next steps.
Hello, I can share for Croatia. So in our case, we do have the VR equipment, and it works very well. But also to support the VR equipment, we need computers with some very high specifications. And not all of the computers and laptops in our school are adapted to that. So now we are also thinking about the possibility of trying to buy some better computers that can support VR. So I think it depends on the type of VR equipment, but our equipment needs to be connected to high performing computers and laptops. So we also need facilities and classrooms which are adapted to that, and also high quality equipment other than VR. So this is also something to consider.
Okay, perfect. So this is one of the main problems for the education centers. So mainly the equipments and so on are not the better one, because you know that there are a lot of center and it could be difficult. Okay, any other suggestion or thought about this topic? Like crazy, it's all okay. I'm going to share again. Now the good part. Wait a moment. Estoy compartiendo la pantalla, Jesús. Okay. Sorry, it was checking. So the strengths of the virtual reality in that field, in the pet education field, we found that it could be nice for the immersive learning experience for all the students, and especially for the pet students, as we said before, because this kind of technology can improve their experience before to have a job, and they have the new point of view in the education, because it's not all theoretical. Also, they can combine the VR education with the practical education. So this VR experience can help in the first step in their experience. Also, this you know that mainly now the young people is more focused in the social media, in the technology, that this makes that, for example, this kind of technology increase the student engage with this their education. So this is because you know this is a new thing. They didn't have the opportunity to test it. This can engage more to the schools, to the education, and to the classes. And the opportunities. You know that finally this project can have different steps before, and we had several meetings with providers of this technology, different devices, and we had the opportunity to share with them our point of view, the experience that some of you have it in the past, and this increased the possibilities for the technology because they have our point of view, and this makes that, for example, they can have it this point of view to implement in their technology, in their devices, in their projects. And also the technological advances that we have in the VR field are amazing now. So during the last year, they improved it, and now the companies are growing up very fast in this field. So mainly, this is the results of the SWOT analysis. And for that field, in the strong part is the increasing of the possibilities of the education. And also in the same way that before, I would like to ask you what the strengths and opportunity could you add to this analysis and also for the project. If someone wants to add something, or if okay, I can continue. Uh, no. Okay. Okay, now to transform the education, we can use different strategies with the VR. So, you know, as we said, that implementing VR in vocational education not only engage and aims for the students, also enables the accessibility in the global learning resources. So you know that finally we can create new tools, new resources for the VR in the vet education. And the main point for that is that it could be open for all the people that they want to join this information. Also, they can use the software that we can create in that field for the education. And also another main point, a good point for this kind of education is the personal and professional development that the people can have it with this VR technology and artificial intelligence. Um, I would like if you have any suggestion or strategies that you can mention for that to promote or the VR in the education. No one?
Sorry, could you please repeat the question, because we were experiencing some technical issues, so we couldn't hear the whole question. Sorry.
Ah, okay. Could you hear me well? Because if in any moment of the meeting you can't, let me know. I can repeat all the things. Okay. The main question is what if you have any suggestion or a recommendation for strategies for the use of VR in the field of better education.
In our experience, it's best to combine it with the theoretical parts and with practical parts. So for now, we just keep it like a small portion of the class is dedicated to VR. And we are also keeping the traditional methods. So this proved to be like a good solution.
Yes, we agree with Andrea, but also we suggest that sometimes it's better that at the beginning of courses or academic years, try to have 2 weeks of training actually with the tools before we implement as a tool for the subject or the course, because sometimes or the teacher or the students never been in touch with this kind of tools. So first, for us, it's a suggestion to try create a specific training just for the tool. Short one.
Okay, perfect. Yes, mainly for our experience in that field, it's not the same like better education because SOMOS Europa is a NGO focusing in the youth, in the young people mainly, and we try to implement different projects with VR. And now we are working in that field, and also a part of the in the formal education, we found different ways to implement the VR in the non-formal education. Also, this can make some good things for the people, some improvement for their transversal skills and different competencies that they have it, and they can improve in very fast because mainly this technology make all more fast. Okay, I'm going to continue to share. Okay. Also, we detected different needs for Spain and also for Europe in that field. So mainly, you know that the European Commission create different strategies for the improvement in the general society and so on. That, for example, in the field of youth, in the field of training, in the field of education, in the fight against climate change. And we can say that, for example, they are working also in the creation of new experience, new frameworks to improve the ways of teaching that we have it in Europe. And For that, the needs that we detect is, for example, we need more courses of technological fields for the teachers, because mainly, as we said before, one of the problems that we detected in the implementation of this field, it could be the problem that the teacher or the trainer put it to implement this technology in the classrooms. So mainly this, it could be one of the needs more important, because finally, if we have the technology, we have the software, we have the materials that we can use for this kind of training, but we don't have the people that can make it possible, it's not has any sense for that. So the needs is, for example, the creation of any training center for that field, because mainly we have a specific center for the new technologies improvement or something like that. It could be nice for the educational system. And also the collaboration with the private sector, especially the companies that work with VR technology, it could be nice, because, for example, during the last online meeting that you can see in our Facebook web page, it was very useful, because the companies share with us their experience, their devices, their software that they have, and we can create we can use in our daily trainings. And this measure can make possible and facilitate that VR, it could be in the daily life of the pet center, and also improve the possibilities of the people in the labor market. And also they can help to the labor market to improve the technology that they have it. And we could like to hear from you if you have any specific proposal that you want to add, because I thought I mentioned some of them, but we can find more. And also, if you have any specific proposal that you found during the time that you tested your VR material, it could be nice.
Yes. Even though we are talking about vet centers, there are experience about this kind of tools and the use for education at the higher institutions like universities. So maybe sometimes we can also suggest to contact another kind of centers, for example, universities that are actually using that in their classes. So to share the regular basis and also the experience with the students, even though we work for vet centers, but can be useful. Thank you.
Thank you, Isabel. Andrea, do you want to add something?
Yes, I also agree with what both of you said. I think it's important to make better connections between the education sector and the labor market, the employers, and also education institutions on all levels of education, as Isabel mentioned, universities and other schools, education centers, also NGOs. So I also agree that that's very important.
Thank you, Andrea. Yes, for sure. Mainly we can work in this different, not only in the pet education, we can transfer also the university education and all the fields, because, for example, also the other kind of education of formal can use it, and it could be really nice to have this technology for all the people in general. Also taking into consideration that we can we need to have more devices, more material for that. But I think that now in the general way is improving this situation, and in the next year we can have different resources, different material that we can use for that. So it could be really useful for all of us. Okay, the next one, it's as we said, with the collaboration with the private sector. Also, during this previous time in which we can find the technology, the people, the connection, and so on, during that time, it could be very, we need to collaborate in the field of VR, content, education, training, and so on. But we need, for example, the creation of new projects. So you know that this project was created the last year, we started, and we will finish this year with really nice results that I think that all of us could be really benefit for our institutions. And um, I mentioned that because it's really vital for the general world, but also for the European countries, collaborate with different funding and development grants, for example. You know that here in Europe, we have the Erasmus Plus program that help us in all the education field, not only for the mobilities. So because we have different kind of projects. For example, this is from the Key Action 2. So we have the opportunity to share the experiences between the trainers, the companies, and also the creation of new material that can be used for the next generation and also for the other organizations. And also for that, it could be nice if we have a specific programs in the field of mobility for the VR technology or new technologies in the classrooms in general. And also the creation of a new material or some resources that can be transversal for all the educational fields. So can make better the educational system of Europe, and also can make a development of a transnational VR field. So this it could be really nice benefit for all the educational centers. And we would like to know if you have any improvements or something to suggest in that field, the collaboration, funding, ideas in general related with this.
Well, we believe that other than student mobility programs, also teacher mobility programs are very important, so they can go abroad and see how this technology functions in other institutions and then bring good examples back home to their school. So yes, student mobility is important, but also teacher mobility.
Thank you, Andrea. No one more? Okay, I can continue. So this is the last slide. So the training is more or less finished. It was really fast. So the idea it was to talk more about the different questions, but don't worry. I would like to ask you some questions to debate a little more, and I think that we can finish with after 3-4 questions more. And I hope that this training or this not like a main training, but an overview, it could be useful for you and for your organizations. First of all, you know that you implemented different VR technology in your centers. We would like to know what VR software have you found most useful for your educational needs and why? In general, if you have any overview, otherwise we can try to with another question. Okay. What functionalities do you consider crucial for VR software programs in professional education? In general, if you don't have any experience, you can suggest any functionalities that we can implement it.
Well, to be honest, there are some specific programs that are more useful than others because you really need to check the places or the situations that virtual reality help you instead of moving with the student or the teacher with the class. You can actually do it in your class with the virtual reality. So there are actually very specific studies for vet centers that are really useful. So talking about money that you need to spend to experience with the class with these different topics, you can not spend this amount of money, and you can learn from your chair in your class. So of course the functionalities are really useful in that sense.
Yeah, be any other suggestion in that field, Andrea?
Yes, I can add that what we've seen and heard from our trainer during the physical training here in Croatia, and we have yet to see this with our learners, it's also very useful for people with disabilities because it allows them this virtual mobility in cases when physical mobility is not possible. And also from what we have tested, it's very good for building soft skills and, for example, language skills with this role play scenarios and public speaking exercises and so on. So for people who have any sort of physical or mental disabilities, it can be very helpful.
Thank you, Andrea and Isabel, for these suggestions. For example, this I think that it could be a nice question for other VR trainers or teachers. Do you have any recommendation that you can give to the other trainers who are considering integrating VR into their classrooms? Suggestion, any things that you think that it could be important to take into account? No? Okay, I'm going to try with the last one, and otherwise we can finish. We mentioned that, for example, some improvement or some changes that we can implement in the current VR technology. But do you have any change or improvement that you can suggest for the current VR programs? Not only the technology, also the software or the things that they can treat to make more effective through the people. Any suggestion?
Yeah, yes, I could say that when you are using technically the tool, the VR for specific courses, for example, healthcare, education and training, architecture, design, for vet centers, sometimes the tool gives you also the facility to sometimes have fun. So of course it's something to learn, it's a tool to use for learning, but sometimes we can introduce gaming into the class. So we can, at the beginning of every class or every time we use with a group of students or also with teachers with the students, not just focus on the theory, but also enjoying with the group. Sometimes it can be useful for the group of learners to be involved with each other, to help with the confidence, I mean.
Yeah. No, also the gamification of the materials and so on, it could be very useful for all the fields, not only for the VR, because it's a really nice tool to make possible that the people can be more engaged with the teaching and learning process. So it would be nice to have it. Okay, so if you don't have any other question or something related, thank you so much for your time, for being here, for this training. Thank you for your time, especially because I know that you are really busy. I hope that this training helped you a little bit, at least. Also, you have all the resources for the project. Also, I think that, for example, from Spain with Isabel and SOMOS, you can access for all the material we create for the general project. Also, Andrea and the rest of the team of the Croatia Stadium. They have the point of view of Croatia. So thank you so much. Have a nice day.